Imagine you're walking down a street in a city that never sleeps, where every shadow hides a watchful eye and every conversation is overheard. This isn't just any city, it's Oceania, a land of perpetual surveillance and unyielding control, where the very air seems to whisper secrets of rebellion and oppression. Welcome to George Orwell's 1984, a chilling dystopian vision that has haunted the collective imagination for decades. In this world, Big Brother is always watching, not just with cameras, but through the eyes of citizens who have been conditioned to report on their neighbors, friends, and even family members. The party, led by the inscrutable figure known only as the leader, maintains its grip on Oceania through a combination of fear, manipulation, and relentless propaganda. Everywhere you look, there are reminders of the party's supremacy. Posters of Big Brother with his piercing eyes, slogans like "War is peace," "Freedom is slavery," "Ignorance is strength," and telescreens that broadcast the latest state-approved news. The protagonist of our story, Winston Smith, is a low-ranking member of the Ministry of Truth. His job is to rewrite historical records so they conform to the ever-changing party line, altering facts, deleting names, even erasing entire people from existence. It's a job that drives him mad with frustration and guilt, knowing he's part of something far more sinister than just altering documents. But it's not just about changing history, it's about controlling minds. The thought police are ever present, lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce on anyone who dares to think independently or speak their mind. Love is forbidden, and personal relationships must be kept secret for fear of being reported as thought criminals. In this world, loyalty to Big Brother means betraying your own family, friends, even yourself. The Ministry of Love, where prisoners are tortured and broken, looms large in Winston's nightmares. It's a place of unimaginable horror, where dissenters are punished with electric shocks, brainwashing, and worse. The Ministry of Peace is charged with conducting war, while the Ministry of Plenty deals with scarcity, and the Ministry of Truth ensures that history never repeats itself. Each ministry serves a purpose in maintaining the party's grip on power. As Winston goes about his daily routine, rewriting old newspapers to fit new facts, he can't help but feel disillusioned. He knows deep down that everything he does is meaningless, part of an elaborate charade designed to keep the masses in line. But what if there was more to life than mindless work and constant fear? What if it were possible to think for oneself, to love freely, to resist? These thoughts are dangerous, of course, but they gnaw at Winston's soul. He longs for a connection with someone who understands his pain, someone who shares his doubts about the party's twisted version of reality. It's in this oppressive environment that Winston meets Julia, another disillusioned worker in the Ministry of Truth, and their forbidden love affair becomes both a source of comfort and a deadly risk. 1984 is not just a story about oppression, it's a profound exploration of human nature, the power of language, and the delicate balance between truth and fiction. Orwell's dystopia serves as a stark warning against the dangers of totalitarianism, reminding us that freedom isn't just about political rights. It's also about the right to think independently, to love freely, and to live with dignity. So as we delve into this world, let's keep an eye on Big Brother, but more importantly, let's remember what truly matters in life. Because in a society where truth is so fluid and loyalty means everything, it's the smallest acts of rebellion that can make all the difference. Winston Smith's journey is one of personal awakening in a world where individuality is systematically suppressed. From the very beginning, we see Winston as a man adrift in a sea of conformity, working in the Ministry of Truth, altering historical records to fit the ever-shifting narratives of Big Brother. His job requires him to erase and rewrite past events, effectively erasing any dissenting voices or inconvenient truths from public memory. It's a soul-crushing task that strips away his sense of self and leaves him questioning everything he once believed. Winston's rebellion begins in the simplest of ways, through the act of keeping a diary. This small defiance is a pivotal moment because it marks the first time Winston asserts control over his own thoughts and actions. In doing so, he takes a stand against the state's pervasive surveillance and control. The mere act of writing down his thoughts, no matter how trivial they may seem, symbolizes his refusal to be swallowed whole by the oppressive regime. As Winston becomes more entrenched in his rebellion, he begins to seek out others who share his dissatisfaction with Big Brother's rule. He meets Julia, a co-worker whose rebellious spirit mirrors his own. Their friendship deepens into love, and they find solace in each other's company. The act of loving another person is itself an act of defiance in a world where emotions are discouraged and the state demands absolute loyalty. Through Winston and Julia's relationship, Orwell explores themes of human connection and resistance against dehumanization. Their affair is not just a physical expression of their rebellion, it represents a yearning for authenticity and genuine human interaction. They take risks by meeting secretly, exchanging notes, and planning to defect to the underground brotherhood. These clandestine meetings serve as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can still be found in the bonds we form with one another. However, Winston's journey is fraught with danger. His growing dissatisfaction attracts unwanted attention from O'Brien, who appears to be an enemy but may actually be part of the brotherhood. The tension builds as Winston and Julia's plans are uncovered, leading to their capture by the thought police. This moment marks a turning point in Winston's story, where his rebellion against Big Brother is met with severe punishment. In the Ministry of Love, where prisoners are subjected to torture and brainwashing, Winston faces the ultimate test of his resistance. The methods employed here are brutal and psychologically devastating, designed to break the will of the prisoner and instill absolute obedience to Big Brother. Despite the horrors he endures, Winston clings to his defiance, refusing to betray Julia or admit that he loves her. However, the pain is relentless, and eventually, Winston cracks under the pressure. He is forced to renounce his love for Julia, deny his past actions, and publicly confess his loyalty to Big Brother. This moment of breaking is both a triumph and a tragedy. On one hand, it represents the ultimate victory of the regime over individual will. On the other, it underscores the profound cost of resistance. Winston's journey from rebellion to capitulation is a harrowing exploration of the human spirit in the face of totalitarianism. It raises questions about the nature of truth, loyalty, and the resilience of the human soul. Through Winston's experiences, Orwell critiques the dehumanizing effects of surveillance and control, while also highlighting the enduring power of love and rebellion. Ultimately, Winston's story is a testament to the complexity of human nature in extreme circumstances. It shows that even in a society where individuality is suppressed and dissent is punished, small acts of defiance can still spark hope. Whether through the act of writing, forming connections with others, or simply refusing to give up one's beliefs, Winston's journey reminds us that the fight against oppression never truly ends. As we delve deeper into the world of Oceania in George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, the themes of surveillance, control, and individual freedom become increasingly intertwined. The party's omnipresent watchful eyes, symbolized by the ever-present telescreens and the ominous slogan, "Big Brother is watching," create an environment where trust has no place and every action can be scrutinized. This pervasive surveillance extends beyond just visual observation. It encompasses thought control through newspeak, psychological manipulation via propaganda, and fear-induced obedience enforced by the thought police. Winston Smith, our protagonist, finds himself ensnared in this web of control from the very beginning. His job at the Ministry of Truth involves altering historical records to fit the party's current narrative, a task that requires him to erase evidence of his own past. This act of rewriting history serves as a powerful metaphor for how truth can be manipulated and individual memories suppressed. Winston's fear of being caught in thought crime, any form of dissenting thought, is palpable, illustrating the extent to which the party has infiltrated even the most private corners of its citizens' minds. The relationship between Winston and Julia adds another layer of complexity to these themes. Their affair represents a rebellion against the state, a small act of defiance that challenges the party's control over their personal lives. However, their love is constantly threatened by surveillance and betrayal. This underscores how even intimate relationships cannot escape the reach of an all-powerful government. The couple's attempts to find solace in each other serve as a reminder that human connection is fundamental to resisting oppression, but it also highlights the fragility of such connections in a world where trust is impossible. The torture and brainwashing of Winston by O'Brien are perhaps the most harrowing moments in the novel. This scene serves as a chilling exploration of how far individuals will be pushed when faced with extreme measures of control. O'Brien's manipulation of Winston's beliefs through physical pain, psychological abuse, and constant surveillance reveals the depth to which an authoritarian regime will go to maintain its power. The ultimate betrayal by Julia, driven to confess her love for Winston as a mere tactic in his torture, is a devastating blow that leaves us questioning the very nature of loyalty and identity. Through these intense moments, Orwell forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about human resilience and vulnerability. Winston's eventual capitulation under O'Brien's methods raises profound questions about free will versus determinism, and whether it is possible for an individual to maintain their autonomy in a society where every aspect of life is controlled. His forced love confession, coupled with his belief that Big Brother has always been watching him even when he thought himself safe, symbolizes the complete erosion of his identity. Yet, despite the crushing despair that permeates the novel's final pages, 1984 remains a powerful call to action. It is a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of preserving individual freedom and autonomy. In our own world, where technology increasingly invades our personal lives and privacy concerns grow ever more pressing, Orwell's cautionary tale becomes even more relevant. By reading 1984, we are reminded to remain vigilant against those who would seek to control us. We must never allow fear or apathy to paralyze us into submission. The novel challenges us to question authority, to value truth over convenience, and to stand up for our beliefs even when it seems impossible. In the face of an ever-evolving landscape where technology can monitor and manipulate, Winston's story serves as a powerful reminder that individual freedom is not something to be taken lightly. It is a precious commodity that must be defended at all costs. So, whether you're finding solace in a quiet moment, forming connections with others who share your values, or simply refusing to give up on your principles, remember Winston's journey and the lessons it teaches us about the enduring struggle for freedom against oppressive forces. 1984 is not just a story, it is a call to action, a reminder that in the battle between individuality and control, our choices matter more than ever before.